For dozens of Romney-Ryan supporters tightly packed into a Lake Mary restaurant, this moment was the highlight of the debate.
I think the vice president very well knows that sometimes the words don't come out of your mouth the right way.
And afterwards, they told me Ryan was the clear winner.
He was just calm, cool, collect.
Thought he did a great job.
But inside a downtown Orlando bar, the Obama-Biden watch party disagreed.
Overall, I definitely felt Biden definitely made the stronger points between the two.
He's very frank. He's a very frank person, and that's always refreshing at times.
Rookie driver Kyle Larson's car went out of control, sailing into the fence that separates the track from fans. That crash sent spectators ducking for cover.
You could see when it hit the fence, it was like a hailstorm. There was debris going everywhere.
And afterwards, race fans rushed to help the victims.
One lady in the arm and did some serious damage to her arm and hit another man sitting right behind her in the head.
Despite the wreck, we've learned that the Daytona 500 will go on as scheduled. The problem has gotten so bad at Orlando Gun Club, the owner, John Kierson, is now limiting the sale of bullets.
They walk in and buy 10 cases of this and 10 cases of that and take it with them. I have no more ammo for people to come and shoot at the range.
And for now, customers can shoot freely on the range. But as for taking home certain types of ammo, such as target bullets, Kierson says the freeze will remain in full effect. Dozens of Romney supporters squeezed into a Winter Park pizzeria, cheering the loudest whenever the debate got the most heated. When asked who won, Gigi Barrios told me it was no contest.
Romney came with the actual correct facts, and the people who have half a brain will believe him. But in Thornton Park, Obama supporter Melody Johnson said the president looked strong.
Seemed to be on his game. He seemed to be a little off his game last time. I don't think that was a good depiction of him last time, and this seemed to be a better depiction of the kind of candidate he is.
And our top story this morning, we're following breaking news. 2 people confirmed dead. A fiery crash on the 408 this morning. WDBO's Jonathan Beaton is live on the scene near Hiawassee Road. Jonathan, you've got some new information.
Yeah, Jim, I just talked with Sergeant Kim Montez with the Florida Highway Patrol. She tells me it was a head-on collision right here between Good Homes Road and Hiawassee around 3:45 this morning. The crash involved 2 male drivers, both of which have been confirmed dead. It started when one of the men drove his black Hyundai the wrong way eastbound, eventually smashing into the other driver, causing both vehicles to burst into flames. Questions about the former lieutenant governor were immediately shot down.
This is ongoing, and we will not discuss the matter any further.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says the investigation started back in 2009 when local law enforcement began to suspect that supposed charity Allied Vets of the World was nothing more than a for-profit chain of casinos in strip plazas.
Less than 2% of their proceeds going to help charity. This is a $300 million organization.
Lieutenant Governor Carroll hasn't offered any details behind the resignation, but we do know authorities questioned her yesterday regarding her PR company that at one time represented the now disgraced veterans charity. Late last night, 2 officers went to 42-year-old Joshua Hilt's Delaney Park home after he allegedly made threats against law enforcement on his Facebook page. When they tried to talk with the man, cops say a wild fight ensued that involved Hilt tearing off his clothes, gouging one of the officers in the eye, and even stunning them with one of their own tasers. This neighbor watched it all go down.
And he was just laying there on the street about, on his right side, legs up, and he was naked.
In the end, it took 5 officers to subdue Hilt.
They're not going to admit that this is about Romney if it is.
David Tweed is the editor of MormonThink.com, where his recent writings on Mitt Romney sparked church leaders to question him for over 45 minutes after a service on September 16th.
Ask me to immediately go into their office and then interrogate me.
He feels the church is consumed with getting more power.
I see the Mitt Romney campaign as just another symptom of their motivations.
The 5th-generation Mormon will face his excommunication trial this Sunday. There's a buzz of excitement here at OIA as anxious travelers return home to meet their friends and family. Matt Tyson sat patiently with his wife and 2 kids, waiting for their flight back to Alabama.
We got family on both sides of it, so they're all expecting us back.
For Richard and Lynn Gotten, it will be their first Thanksgiving ever.
Well, we don't have Thanksgiving in England, so it's kind of interesting looking in the shops, especially for me, like supermarket type things, see what you have to eat. stuff like that.
Over 1 million travelers are expected to pass through OIA during this Thanksgiving period. For Orange County School Board Chair Bill Sublett, it was a relief.
We just expect when we drop our children off in the morning at a public school that they're going to be safe.
But he worries that the $3 million plan is not a viable long-term solution.
I'm not sure it's the best use of taxpayer resources to have a very expensive sworn law enforcement officer sitting at an elementary school 5 days a week as their full-time job.
And will this pull much-needed cops off the street? Sheriff Jerry Demings says no.
There's nothing that I'm going to do in this regard to adversely impact the rest of the county.
The deputies will be placed at all 78 elementary schools throughout unincorporated Orange County. Finance professor Stan Smith thinks it's too much of a good thing and wants UCF to stop the flood of students.
It does send a message that our emphasis is on quantity and not quality.
Junior Gordon Adams says it can be a problem.
Since there's so many people, there's no open spots and it's really hard to get into class.
But he enjoys his school's popularity.
No, it doesn't bother me, as long as I can get into my classes.
UCF sits behind Arizona State University as the second largest college in the nation. Jason and Jennifer Helveston have been fighting with Orlando officials for months after they were told their veggie garden didn't comply with city code.
And we needed a vegetable garden because our budget is strapped. We are in financial hard times.
And now the city is backing off, putting an order to remove the garden on hold.
We realized that the current development standards were a little bit unclear in terms of what you can and cannot do.
Commissioners will review the original ordinance this March.